Welcome, everyone. It's Michael Murray at Benzinga. I'm here with Shahar Daniel, the CEO of the Safety Group, a cybersecurity company. Shahar, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for hosting me. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. It's great to have you with us. Shahar, I would love to start just by learning a little bit more about the Safety Group. Can you give us some background into the company starting, where you came from, where you're at currently, and just a profile of the company in general?
Okay, thank you very much. So Safety is a cybersecurity company, headquartered based in Israel, started in Israel a few years ago, expanded our activities all over the world. We have reps all over the world, really a really full cover all over the world. Our headquarters is based in Israel, as I mentioned. R&D is in Israel, and we are based on knowledge from veterans from the Israeli cybersecurity and Army Special Intelligence Units ecosystem. Safety is selling secure. Cybersecurity is a huge buzzword, but under the cybersecurity, a lot of verticals. Safety is touching the vertical of secure remote access, which is very popular due to the COVID. But everybody knows that the world, especially the digital transformation, is running very fast, pre-COVID and absolutely post-COVID. The climate is totally different. The boundaries, the legacy boundaries are not existing anymore. And due to the digital transformation, a lot of hacking events in the last period. I guess everybody heard about the last 6 months, huge attacks everywhere. I don't want to mention specific names, but I guess everybody is familiar with at least 3 huge attacks. Why? Because the boundaries are not existing anymore, because the digital transformation is here, and because the cybersecurity is a way behind. Zero Trust Network Access is a new vertical that introduced to the world 2 or 3 years ago that comes and says, okay, when you connect remotely, you are totally not secured. How do you connect today? With VPN. I guess 99% of organizations connected through VPN. VPN is a great technology, but it's old one. It's 20 years, 25 years technology. What does it mean? It means that a lot of hacking events can come through this leak, this VPN, okay? And that the hackers, the attackers are very smart. They identified it, and over the COVID, they totally found this leak, found this weak point, found this pain point, and through these boundaries that are not existing anymore, hacked and made a lot of damage to organization. What is Zero Trust? Zero Trust comes and says, okay, no more VPN. I will authenticate you 2 minutes or 1 second before access, meaning before I will authenticate you in 100%, I will be 100% sure that it's you, and I will authorize and certify it. Only 1 second after, you will get the keys to the paradise. But what is paradise? In the VPN world, the paradise is a real paradise because you are getting the key to all the infrastructure. You can walk around free. In the Zero Trust Network Access vertical, the keys is only to the specific service or application that you need, and you need to consume, and then you will go out. So it sounds perfect, no? But what is the problem? To change legacy technologies is totally frustrating, and many organizations will not do it, or will do it over the time, and it will take a lot of time. And organizations are under panic. They want now to be much more secured. They need to have business continuity. Everybody needs to work remotely. They need to connect their contractors. They need to connect their shareholders, and they don't know what to do. And Safety is the only cybersecurity organization in the world today that can provide this security level on top of the current technology and infrastructure. Meaning, if you, for example, is the CISO or the CIO of an organization, and you don't want to replace your VPN because it will take you 6 months project to become Zero Trust Network Access effective, I can do it in, 3, 4, 5 days, not more than this. Imagine yourself, what is the value behind? So this is Safety. And from the other side, we have another line of business, which is our IP proxy business. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but we bought an IP proxy company in the end of 2019, and we totally embedded it into Safety. And today I can say proudly that Safety has 2 lines of business. One is the IP proxy, which is a data collection solution. It allows you to collect data from the net, from the internet, and to get it transparent and real data, because today a lot of misleadings can come because many organizations don't want you specifically to know the reality, to get the transparent data. And why? And how do they identify you? According to your IP, to your demographic, to your current location, etc., etc. So organizations that will not use the IP proxy solution, and many of them are using, even some of them are huge, we have huge customers in this space that is totally growing, can prevent themselves from exposing to misleading and not accurate data. So this is safety.
What a great background into safety, the safety group in general, and just a little bit more about what you guys do and who the company is. That gives us a great base to kind of work off of. And stepping in as a second question from that, when we talk about the the company and where you've come from, where you're at now, and congratulations on the second line of business as well, by the way. Can you tell us a little bit more about Safety's earnings, specifically forward year 2020, Q4 of last year, and just some of the financials over the last year, and even potentially what you're looking to do in 2021 and beyond as well?
Okay. So as you saw, we just released our earnings, and you can see that in parallel to enlarge our business, in parallel to invest a lot in our new technology, by the way, our VPN, Zone Zero VPN and Zone Zero SDP, totally new products. In parallel to we converted our go-to-market approach, meaning instead of knocking on end customers, starting from last year, we are approaching only channels, distributors, resellers, system integrators. So in parallel to this, because it invests a lot of time and efforts, it takes more time. It takes more time to train your channels. It takes more time to engage with channels, more time from revenues perspective, but it's the only way to scale up. So we invested a lot of time and efforts in enlarging our offering, in penetrating to a lot of channels all over the globe. In parallel to this, you see the growth. The total growth is 50% more than 2019. We finished this year with almost $5 million in revenues, which is a great achievement for us. It's an amazing achievement for us. By the way, if you look at our presentation, you see that this is our projection to keep at least 50% year-over-year growth. With this, we bought a new company in the end of 2020. I guess you are aware of this because you saw it in our PRs. So we built another IP proxy company, and we make our IP proxy business to be stronger. In parallel to this, we released new products. We signed with dozens of partners, and we have a very strong balance sheet. At the end of March, or at the middle of March, we have almost $23 million in our bank account, which is basically the best situation we've ever been. When we established the company a few years ago, this is exactly the situation that we wanted to be. Why? Because we have a strong balance sheet. We have a great way to scale up with a lot of partners that show a huge level of trust in safety products. We have great and innovative technology right on time, right on when the world is working from home. And we proved ourselves that we know how to have a great M&As. And by the way, M&A is also our target for this year. We believe in both directions. One is organic growth with our current business, and the second is to leverage the fact that we are a public company and to have some unorganic achievements like successful M&As, which totally will take us to a different place.
Wonderful. And of course, there's nothing better to hear than a company achieving their goals and getting where they wanted to be. And it sounds like that's what Safety's done, especially over this year, getting where you want to be and focusing on M&A this year. So great to hear. And of course, looking forward to seeing that. And another thing I'd like to ask more specifically, and I know we spoke about some of those breaches and some of those attacks that happened recently, but I'd love to dig a little bit deeper into that topic and just talk about what Safety's tech does that sets you apart, not only in your field and the sector that you work in, but also what Safety does that could have prevented attacks like that and will prevent them from happening again in the future.
Okay, great question. So I'll try to not to be too techy in order not to make you boring. So I'll explain it in high level. Okay, so as I explained, the ZTNA, which is Zero Trust Network Access Solution, first thing and most important is totally differentiate between authentication and access. Let me give you an example from the real world. Let's assume that you, Michael, needs to be in let's say, in a critical asset or in a sensitive place, needs to be physically. So when the other side will schedule the meeting with you, he will coordinate it with you through the email, let's example, and he will give you the specific address, and you will come to Manhattan to street this and this, and you will be in the building. The guy in the front desk will authenticate you, and then you will go to the elevator and you will have the keys to paradise. If you want to hack, if you want to make damage, if you are a terrorist, then you are already there. Even if I will authenticate you or not authenticate you, you know the specific location. And this is the mother of all troubles in cybersecurity. So the ZTNA come and say, okay, I will authenticate you in a different place. Let's go back for a second for the physical world. I will authenticate you in Chicago, okay? And then, like a magic, okay, I will send you to the specific place. You will never know where the specific address. You will be in the specific room that you need to be. You will finish the meeting, and then I will kick you back to Chicago, and then you will go home. So what I achieved here, first of all, I authenticate you in a different place. If you want to make damage, you cannot, because in different place there is nothing there is nothing critical or nothing sensitive. Second is that you got only to the specific room. If you take it back to the virtual world, to the specific application, to the specific service, you will consume it and then you will leave. The second and very important solution, by the way, one of the most prestigious intelligence units of the world bought this solution for us, which is a huge part for us, is the fact that I want to protect all my legacy, and I emphasize it, my legacy application by multi-factor authentication. For example, if you have I don't know, a lot of the population, you have a Microsoft Office or Windows on your computer, and you have the regular folders, you can know that you can double click on each folder and get most of the data, okay? There is no way for MFA. So we developed a specific and very unique product. It's called SMB proxy. We are killing the SMB protocol, which is totally vulnerable, and make it HTTPS instead. And second, we allow you to have MFA to your mobile, to the Telegram, by biometric. We just released today an announcement that we have also the biometric solution. And then only after I will authenticate you twice or 3 times by multi-factor authentication, only then you will get the option to come in and to consume the data or the sensitive data that you need to be consumed. So these two major capabilities that I just described are totally not preventing 100%. I must say something here. Nobody can prevent 100% of the attacks. Nobody. By the way, not only in cyber, in everything in life, but it totally reduced the probability dramatically. And this is a solution that we have a huge belief that the world is starting to be aware. By the way, you know, in 2019, it was totally different. In 2020, especially when the COVID started, everybody became aware to the fact that remote access can be a huge pain point for the organization, that MFA is totally mandatory. And then instead of signing with, I don't know, 5 partners in 2019, we signed with dozens, with more than 50 partners. Some of them are the biggest partners of the world. Everybody are a huge believer that this technology is going to be adopted more and more, especially this year and the years after.
Well, terrific. Great to hear. Some really interesting technology there. And I think assets that will definitely help breaches from happening in the future, and clearly something that sets safety apart from the competition. So great to hear more about that. And looking ahead now to kind of wrap things up, I would love to just look into safety's future. To the to the extent that you're permitted to share with us, what do you see happening for safety in 2021? What are some major milestones you're looking to hit? And beyond that as well, into the deeper future, what do you see for the future of the company and developments and progress and things happening as you move on down the road?
Okay, great question. So I think I touched some of the points in my previous answers, but I will try to summarize it. So as I mentioned, we have the strategy says, okay, we have 2 directions. One is to keep the organic growth. We have a strong team, group of veterans, really from the best companies and the best units of the Israeli army, that can take this cyber and IP proxy business from a dream, because At this stage, we have a huge dream. We are still in the dream stage, although we are totally not in the presentation stage, because we are totally aware and recognized by the biggest distributors, customers, and even analysts of the world like Gardner, Forrester, and Frost & Sullivan. So to take this and to start and generate more and more traction, to have at least 50% year-over-year growth, and to become a $50 million only in this organic growth in the coming years by 2025, and to become major player, although we are now a major player from technology perspective, and you can find it in all the analyst report, but to make our partners to be satisfied, so satisfied that they will expand our technology all over the world. From the other side, and the second strategy is to find great companies, because we think we have the capabilities to find the best companies, like we did in the past with the best team that we have now on safety, to find great companies, great technologies, and to have some M&As, and to keep the growth from organic perspective and from unorganic perspective. So these are the targets for this year and for the coming years, and I think safety has the potential to become a really major player in these areas.
Wonderful, Shahar. Thank you so much for that deep dive into just some of the progress that we're going to see from safety. And thank you again for the interview. I think that covers everything from our end. And at Benzinga and our side of things, we're very interested to see what the progress is for safety moving forward and some of the new developments you guys are going to have. Thank you so much for your time and this interview. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Shahar. Thank you, everyone. Take care.